All right, here we go. So I'm going to share my screen and let's get started with this. All right, a wheel makes 50 revolutions every 8 seconds. What is the angular speed in radians per second? If the radius is 9 feet, what is the linear speed of the wheel in miles per hour? All right, so we have 50 revolutions for every 8 seconds. All right, so you multiply that by 2 pi rad over 1 revolution. Cancel, cancel, and you will get 314.15 over 8, which then ends up being 39.27 radians per second. Okay. Oh, I didn't do that. Okay. That's a good idea. All right. I want my own little world here. Sorry about that. All right, we get there. So now from the 39.27 radians per second, you multiply that by the radius, which is 9 feet over 1 radian, right? And then convert this into, we need to get miles per hour. So it's 1 mile over 5,280 feet times 60 seconds equals 1 minute, and 60 minutes equals 1 hour. And the total for that is 240.97 miles per hour. We good? All right. Number 2, 94 revs per minute times 1 revolution is 2 pi radians times 1 radian is equal to 18 centimeters. So this part right here is angular speed. We convert it into radians, right, per minute. And then from there, we multiply by the radius to get the linear speed, and then we convert the units from there. So it would be 1 meter over 100 centimeters times 3.281 feet over 1 meter times 1 mile over 5,280 feet times 60 minutes over 1 hour. Again, it doesn't have to be in this order. You just make sure you mention it. Okay. And so the final answer is 3.96 miles per hour. Make sure you show all your work here, okay, for these problems. All right. Cool. All right, number 2 is graphing. I wanted to graph some of the more difficult ones here for this test because we didn't get to sort of make sure that you guys have this down. So for this one, you have 2 sine theta minus pi over 4 minus 2. I want you guys to recognize the parent functions here. So the y is equal to 2 sine theta. Once you guys recognize that, then you can just shift it over pi over 4 and down 2. Okay, so let's graph 2 sine theta. 2 sine theta, the amplitude is 2. Start at 0. Period is 2 pi. So divide it into 4 parts. I like to divide it into 4 parts because it tells me the max and the zeros, and max, mins, and zeros. So here's the max, here's a 0, here is a min, and then here is back to a 0. Okay, so pi over 2, be negative pi over 2, pi, negative pi, 3 pi over 2, and this. Oops, I went too deep one. Sorry. This part right here. I thought negative 2 was there. Negative 2 is here. My alignment's a little off. So far, so good. All right, now we're going to shift it over to the right, pi over 2, pi over 4. So pi over 4, it represents like it's just one track over. You get there? And then from here, you guys could start to graph the cosecant. I don't mind if you do that, because if we go down to it, kind of messes everything up a little bit and it gets really messy. So first of all, I would, graph the asymptotes here, maybe. And all those zeros. That's where all the asymptotes are. And then this is where the green is where the, should look something like this. And then just say like -2, go down 2 from here. You could also just regraph you could regraph the hyperbolas or just shift them down 2 times. It's kind of confusing. Something like this. We good? Any questions on that? Number 3 or 2B is, this one's a little different because cosine, I want to factor out the 2. So it'd be cosine 2 theta minus, and this is what a lot of you guys got wrong in the previous test, and it's part of the reason why I'm doing this. A lot of you guys forgot to factor out the inside, okay? All right. So your shift is now right pi over 4, not pi over 2. So what we're going to do is we're going to graph the y equals cosine 2 theta first. 2 cosine 2 theta. All right. So here's 2. Remember the period is 2 pi over, this is the b number. It's 2, so that's pi. So if we divide it into 4 parts here, it is here, 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 here. So far, so good. Then you shift it right pi over 4 times, right? So we move every point here, here. Okay. Be careful with this. We go with this? For all the asymptotes. That's pretty cool. Here's the red graph, all the zeros. And then graph the parabolas. Remember, if the cosine is 0, right? You flip it over, right? Then if you flip it over, it's undefined, right? So that's pretty much the, yeah. So can we, I always have one phone user in each group, you know? Okay. All right, any question on that? We good? All right, the last one is the law of cosine. You're probably gonna use the law of cosine in the beginning. And then, do we skip one? Yeah. Oh, number 3. All right. Arc cosine radical 3/2 is what? Is it pi over 6? Or 30 degrees, right? It has to be between, it's in quadrants 1 and 4. Tangent is 1 and 4 as well. I forget which one that one is. Negative 30. I put negative 30 or negative pi over 6. Sine and letter C is negative 45 or negative pi over 4. And arctan, you guys remember how to do this? What was it? So tangent is opposite over adjacent. So we have to put this in Pythagorean theorem. X squared plus 2 squared is equal to, let's call this a squared. So x squared plus 4 is equal to a squared. So you get the square root of that. A squared, sorry, a is equal to radical x squared plus 4. Okay. So now we got rid of that. Now we have to get the sine of this angle. It's the opposite over the hypotenuse. It would be x over radical x squared plus 4. Multiply the top and bottom by x squared plus 4. Because we want to rationalize it. So it's x radical x squared plus 4 all over x squared plus 4. That's your answer. And number 4, use the law of cosine. A squared is equal to 30 squared plus 24 squared minus 2 times 30 times 24 times cosine 130. Just remember to correspond, if you're using a degree, correspond that side with this. Okay? So a here, this is 130. This is the small a that we're looking for. Okay, so a squared is equal to 900 plus 576 minus 1440 cosine 130. Yeah, where my calculators go? Calculator. So what happens here? It's 900 plus 576 is 1476 minus 1440 cosine 130. It is negative 925.6. So negative and negative make a positive. So you add 1476. It is 2401.6. That's what a squared is equal to. A is equal to the square root of this. Second square root, second answer, it's about 49. A is equal to 49. Okay. So you get that, then you use the law of sine to get the angles. So if you get sine of, let's say B, or sine A, or sine 130 over 49 is equal to sine B over 24. So this is 24 sine 30 divided by 49 is equal to sine B. You guys see how I kind of skipped a step, but you cross multiply and then you end up dividing by 49. That's why I just went through that. Sine 24 sine 30 divided by 49 is 0.24. Second sine, second answer, that is 14. Let's call this, so angle B is 14 degrees. So you don't need to do law of sines again. You could just add 130 plus 14 and subtract it by 180. You get 36, so that's 36 degrees. You good? So pretty much you have to get two angles. All right, once you get two angles, you can get the third one by subtracted by 180. Okay. This one is the inverse cosine you're going to use. So let's say we're trying to find what angle C is. So C, which is 9, 9 squared is equal to 6 squared plus 14 squared minus 2 times 6 times 14. Remember, these are the other two sides. Cosine C. Just be careful with the order of operations. It's really easy just to be careless with here. 81 is equal to 36 plus 196 minus 3 times 14 is 42. Cosine C. Add these two, that's what? 232 is equal to 81. Subtract the 232. You get what? 231 minus 81 is negative 150. I should have known that. Is equal to negative 42 cosine C. Divide both sides by negative 42. All right. Did I do something wrong? 96. Because 150 divided by 42 is going to be over 1. What do I do here? 6 times 81. 232, 38. This is not possible. You see what I'm hung up with on a little bit, so I don't know why this does not work. Yeah,
Doesn't 2 times 6 times 14 equal 168,
is that right?
not 42?
You're right. You know what? I divided it by 2. Sorry, you're right. Thank you. That was huge. 2 times 6 times 14. Thank you. Thank you. That was huge. 168. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That saved us. That saved us. I divided the 3 by 2 for some reason, and then I multiply it by 14. That's how I got the 42. So we all have these brain parts. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so 150 divided by 168, and then second cosine of the answer, it is 26.7. Okay. So sine of 26.7 over 9 is equal to, let's say, sine A over 6. So 6 sine 26.7 over 9. 6 sine answer divided by 9 is 0.3. And second sine, second answer. Did you guys get 17 for A? 0.5, let's say 17.5. That means if you have this 17.5 plus 26.7, subtract it to 180, this angle is going to be 135.8. All right. Thank you, Grayson. All right. You will forever be immortalized in these videos here. Are we good with number? Do you guys want to do the third one, or you guys feel like you're good? The third triangle. There's 1, 2, and 3. All right, let's do it because it's a lot of sine. It's pretty quick. All right, so sine of 87 over 9 is equal to sine of B over 7. 7 sine 87 over 9 is equal to sine B. So 7 sine 87 divided by 9. Second sine, second answer is 51. So B is 51. So we know that 51 plus 87 minus 180 is 40. This is 42 degrees here. Okay, once we get 42, the sine of 42 over x is equal to the sine of 87 over 9. This is 9 sine 42 divided by sine 87 equals x. 9 sine 42 divided by sine 87. It is 6. That is it. Boom.